easing into your embrace. It's like I never went away. You glow like a kind of slave for race. You're brave enough to save the day. Love, hoping we can make it there. Coming from the golden rays.
So I'm sure you've seen the title of this video, and I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can turn your Force 1 action cam into an FPV cam. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, so for this project, there's a couple things you're going to be needing. You're going to be needing a pair of wire cutters or strippers, some solder, obviously the action cam, which I assume you already have if you're here at this video, and a soldering iron. Alright, so for my transmitter, I decided to go with a 600 milliwatt VTX that I got off of Amazon. So this one I picked it up on Amazon for about $14.99, and it came pretty much as a small kit. So let me show you a little bit. So it came with two antennas, this one rubber ducky antenna, and then this mushroom antenna, which I prefer to use just because this is the one I have also on my eSheen VR06, and then a little extender cable, and then here's the VTX itself. So as you can see from here, let me get a little closer so you can take a look. It is a 600 milliwatt VTX with 40 channels, and it's very clear labeled right here, so it shouldn't be too much trouble for installation. It came with instructions, and I actually found it very easy once you take a look at right here. So it pretty much, it has everything, instructions how to change the channels, also as well as where each cable goes. It's very clear, very clearly layered out. So here, as you can see, it did come with these terminal connector and JST connector, but I did end up cutting them off just because I wanted everything to be soldered directly. And for this build specifically, you will have to cut it off. Especially, like I said, we're going to be making your action cam into an FPV cam. So yeah, I'm going to switch to the actual drone, and then I'll show you how I hooked it up. And we're back. Okay, so here, as you can see, this is the connector that will be going to your actual VTX. So here, this pretty much just clips on. I'm not going to do it right now because I really want to show you how I wired it. So this you will leave on the cable, and then the only actual soldering you're going to be doing, let me get a little so you can see clearly. So for the power, which is the red being the positive and your black being negative on the left hand side with a little clip facing up, I ended up soldering directly to the battery just because this VTX is 600 milliwatts, and it does take between 7 and 24 volts. So I did have, so my easiest option for me was to solder directly to the board. So how I did this was pretty much just take a flathead, and there's some clips here where you can just pry up, and then this board will come out easily. And then pretty much just solder directly to the same terminal that corresponds to the cable. So the red cable goes directly to the positive side, the black cable goes directly to the negative side. So that's pretty much it for as long as how I'm going to get the power to my VTX. As far as the rest of these cables, so here you see you have 3 colors that correlate. So the first one being the yellow, the blue, and then the red. So how I ended up hooking this up was like this. So as you can see here, everything comes pretty clearly labeled. Black negative, positive, everything has pretty much a sticker label to it. So it's very simple to tell as far as this side of the cable is. So the way we're going to be getting our signal to our FPV cam was I got a micro USB AV out cable, which I did find also on Amazon. I think I got it for like $6. And then so this is how it comes. Let's see if I can fit that all on cam. And then pretty much I ended up soldering directly to the to the other side of the cables that came with the VTX. So how you're going to wire this up is fairly simple as far as what cables goes to which. So let me unscramble this so you can see. So for the audio video, which is the only ones I ended up hooking up, so right here, this yellow cable right here, this is, so yellow to white, you can see right here, that's going to be your auto video positive cable. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut off each end on here. You're going to tin your wires, and then pretty much what you're going to do is just solder them together. And then as far as insulating, you can do two ways. I did this on a fly and really quickly, so I didn't have time to go get heat shrink tubing. I do recommend you do get heat shrink tubing, just because, you know, it will make your job look a lot nicer, and it probably will be a lot more insulated. But if you don't have that lying around, I just put some black tape, which pretty much just enough to cover the wires, just to make sure, you know, they don't end up touching. But yeah, pretty much back to the actual wiring. So you have your audio video, which is white on your micro USB. So your positive audio video, white to micro USB, goes to your yellow cable on your VTX connector. And then your negative, see, clearly labeled, audio video negative, is going to go to your blue cable, which is your video negative as well, on the VTX connector. And then that's pretty much the only two cables that you're going to need to hook up to get your feed going. This is for this is if you want to power the actual camera, which I didn't want to do just because, you know, it's a 600 milliwatt and it's going to pull enough power as it is, just running the VTX. So pretty much what I ended up doing is just covering these two up for your positive and your negative to power the camera, and I didn't use this in this build. And yeah, that's pretty much all the wiring that's going to be done just to get this going. I'm going to hook it up together, I'm going to set it up, and then I'll show you pretty much how it looks in the end. Stay tuned. And we're back. Okay, so how I mounted this was fairly easy. Pretty much I took the micro USB cable, which I have right here. See if you can see it. The micro USB cable I have right here. And then I ran it pretty much through the hole, the little pop-up hole that goes right here. Pretty much, let me show you. Pretty much that pops out, and then you can stick your cable and just run it through there. And then pretty much just run it through the side of the board under USCs. So this has double-sided tape, so pretty much just be careful when lifting these up. Just slightly lift them up, and then run the cable on through the side of the board, and then through here to here. So pretty much that is how I ran the cables for a little bit of cable management. And then as for how I stuck my VTX and my antenna, pretty much I just taped it to the back of here. So just took some black tape, got my VTX with a little adapter right here, and then pretty much just drill a hole through the top of the little canopy. And then here I could pretty much just get my antenna, whatever antenna you want to use, whether it be this one or this one that came with it, which I don't really recommend, just because this one is, believe, and don't kill me if I'm wrong, but omnidirectional. So pretty much the signals to get spread a little better than this one. So yeah, pretty much just stuck the antenna right there. VTX is right here, and let me close that up for you. And yeah, see. Okay, so how we're gonna set this camera up before you fly, there's a couple things you're gonna have to do just to make sure this is set up correctly. So let me power that on. Alright, so you're gonna go into your settings, you're gonna hold your OK button, and then you're gonna click it once, and then make sure your auto power off is set to off right here. Make sure it's set to off because you don't want your camera turning off in the middle of a flight. So I set that to off. And then the next thing you're gonna do is, and this you're gonna be doing it every time you want to fly. So basically every time you want to use FPV Cam, you're gonna do this. So you're gonna go still here to this little toolbar section, but you're gonna scroll down to TV output FPV, TV output / FPV. You're gonna click on it, okay, and you're gonna set it to NTSC, and then your screen's gonna go dark. So now your camera's basically ready to hook it up to the FPV cable. Let's go do that right now. Okay, so when it comes to mounting your camera, there are several options you can go with. So this is the mount that comes with it originally. As you can see, there's no room to really plug anything in. So what I ended up doing, instead of modifying the one that came with it, I actually ended up using a different mount that came with a different action cam that I had, so I could hook it up right here. So you can see I have the micro USB cable hooked up to the action cam, and then that's pretty much how I could move it around right here. See, so I could move to the different positions that I want to use it in. So now I'm going to hook it up to my goggles so you can make sure that everything works. So this is pretty much going to show you how it looks in the VR goggles. Let me plug in the quad right now. See, as you can see right here, you have FPV footage. See? So pretty much the way the display looks within the goggles is you actually see exactly what the screen looks like on the camera. So as you can see right here. And yeah, if you want to hit record, very simple, just hit record on your camera, and that's how you record while flying FPV. And that pretty much wraps up this tutorial on how to get a 600 milliwatt transmitter with your action cam and use that as your FPV system. Alright, happy flying. Take care. Bye.